Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Muskan Agarwal, and today, as you guys must have already seen from the title and the thumbnail, that I would be discussing that how I got into Imperial Business School London. That's a total different story. If you guys must be knowing that I'm not like I have decided not to go there even after getting an admission and a very good scholarship. But if you guys have been following me on my LinkedIn, Instagram, you would already know that. If you don't do that already, the links are in the description. You know what to do. In this particular video, I will be talking about my entire application process at Imperial Business School London, and also a bit about how did I start and everything about my story. But let's get started. So, just to tell you a bit about background, that I always wanted to go to a business school. Like before I got into engineering, I was like, I started looking for business schools in India, in US, in London, UK, and everywhere. And then like after a year of working at Amazon, I was like, okay, now I think it's the time that I should be going to the like I should be looking up for colleges, and that is when I applied. I was looking for various options in US, UK, and I was like, okay, let me like I then I decided on UK. A lot of it was because I was always firm that okay, I want to come back to India to build my own business. I would never want to settle outside, and going to US was like it did not seem like a very good financial decision. So then I decided on going to UK, and then it was like मेरी job भी चल रही थी साथ के साथ, and then I also had to prepare, but I was like okay, let me just do it. So the number one step that I did was the application form that was there. So it was a very long application form. I applied in round 3. I was very late because I was very indecisive, and that is why I applied late. But if you guys are applying, watching it right now, I think round 1 will be starting, so do apply it then itself. So the application process is basically like they will be, and it's same every year, it's same. They will be asking you some career planning questions, and then there are two sets of questions in which basically they will be asking you that what do you want to do. Like let's say you want to do entrepreneurship, you want to join a consulting firm, you want to go into a sustainability firm. What kind of what is your vision for yourself in the next 5 to 10 years. With this, they want to gauge that how clear are you on what you are doing, right? So just make sure that whatever answers you are writing, let's say in the start you are writing that you want to go to a very good consulting firm, let's say McKinsey may you want to go, and then one of the answers you are writing that oh, I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship, I want to start my own venture as soon as possible, like as soon as I get out. So now you see that there is a discrepancy between the answers, so you have to make sure that you do not do that. And that I think will only come when you're actually genuine with your answer. So I did not take any help from any external consulting firm or anything because these guys usually take up a lot of money, and then I feel that is not your real story. So I took my sweet time, wrote everything by myself, got it reviewed from people who have been to Imperial, and after their suggestions, I just submitted it. I can discuss some of the questions and what, like, not the exact answers, but some of the answers that I wrote. One question was that what is your long term and your short term goal? So I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but with some years of experience. So I wrote exactly that how I want to probably wanted to work for some amount of time, and then wanted to start my own venture after the learnings that I have had. And then there was this one question. Oh yeah, there would be a lot of questions around why do you want to go to Imperial, because now there are so many business schools that are there. So what I did was, let's say, for example, let's say you want to go into the sustainability sector, you want to do something in the sustainability sector. See what is Imperial doing in the sustainability sector that others other business schools are not doing, what are the events that they are having, what are the clubs and chapters. For example, in one of the answers I remember, there is this Imperial Consulting Club that is there. So while I was talking to one of the students at Imperial, and the opportunities that Imperial has, he told me that there is a very good consulting chapter wherein there are NGOs that are basically our clients, non-profits, and we have been given a case. So basically there is no money involved, but you're solving a real world problem. So I told them that how Imperial is going to give me that opportunity to solve real world problem, which is so great. And also apart from that, like I mentioned a couple of professors that like have very deep expertise in that particular domain. Let's say I have great interest in entrepreneurship domain, right? So there are so many professors with expertise in that. I wanted to learn more about finance. So what professors inspire you, you can actually write about that. So be as specific as possible. That basically tells them that okay, you are somebody who is genuinely interested in their program, and not just filling the applications for the sake of filling the applications. So one, your why should be clear. Why do you want to do that particular program? And next thing is, why do you want to choose Imperial over all the other colleges? And basically then there would be one more question around, like how would you contribute to the Imperial community? So if you take my example, because I have had 1 year of experience at Amazon, so I had like a lot to share. So I wrote about that. Then I had my own business, that is Cherry Media, in which is totally different from the technical domain, which is so much around the client work that I have had, the experience that I have had by talking to the YC founders, the experience that I have had because of my learnings, right? So basically I mentioned that how will I share all this with the Imperial community, and how that will benefit everybody out there. So that is something that you can write. Basically how will you offer, like why should they select you over other people? So you should mention all the qualities that you have. Just start thinking like 3 years back, like 3 साल के domain में, कि what all have you achieved, what all can you give to the community. Then the next thing is that there are a lot of what do you say, experience based questions, or like like if this happens, then what will you do? Let's say for example, there was this one question that let's say tell us this one time when you solved some problem that was, you solved a particular problem, for example. So I will not give you an exact example, but something I wrote related to teamwork in Amazon. How, like there was a project that we were working at, and then it was taking a lot of time, but due to some things that I did, that project could be completed with 3x the efficiency, and we were not just able to meet the deadline, but able to do it before the deadline along with the feedback. So I mentioned that everything that I did. So let's say in one example I wrote about Amazon, in one example I wrote about Cherry Media, in one example I wrote about my experiences in college, because I was part of lot of clubs, lot of chapters. There was a question around time management, so I wrote how I am able to, like, what are my strengths is that I am able to manage so many things. I was able to manage a full-time job, my entrepreneurship, my YouTube, my LinkedIn, and while I was in college, I was also managing my academics, and I have had like a decent, a good CGPA, I would say, like an 8.9. So how I was able to manage all of those with just a proper timetable and with the knowledge of prioritization. So all these things really helped. Of course, I'm not telling you exact answers that I wrote or in the exact order, but I'm just telling you my thought process. I try to be as genuine as possible. Trust me, that is something that they are looking at, because that is rare. So do not try to ask somebody else to fill up your answers, or write on your behalf. No, that is like a big no. Another thing that they ask is your resume. So in my resume, again, again, like I mentioned everything that I did along with my business. Like a lot of people think that probably if you have a business they will not take you, and even that was my like I was also questioning that will they take me if I have my own business, what will they do? But trust me, they take it in a very very positive sense. I was just seeing a lot of people who are selected in MIM programs, and a lot of people a lot of people among them are co-founders, founders, etc. Actually, one person I remember who got a full scholarship as well was like a YC founder, who then decided to start like do his further studies or something like that, not sure. But yes, then next thing that was there, and these answers are like word limits are there, like let's say 250 words are there, 800 words are there. Word limit is given along with the answer. Please try to stick to it. Do not like बहुत ज़्यादा, you shouldn't reduce the word limit, and I think you cannot increase at all, because the boxes will take only that many words. So that is again like something that you guys can do. And the LOR. So the next thing is the LOR. So LOR is basically you need to take it from somebody under whom you have worked, somebody who knows you personally. Now here the designation does not really matter. Like a lot of people think that a person whom you're taking LOR from should be a VP, a HOD, a CEO. No, that person basically should have worked with you for a good amount of time. They should know your strengths and your weaknesses, and that is good to go. I took two LORs. One LOR I took from my college professor. Like because it was almost 1 year since I passed college, so it was very tough for me to get the LOR, because like now you've lost touch with professors. But with him, I've taken like almost 3 courses, one in the first year and 2 courses in the last year. So he knew me really really well, and when I contacted him, he was more than happy to give me the LOR. So one I took from him, and another LOR I took from my internships mentor at Amazon. Like he was a really really nice person. He knew me, like he knew my work really really well. We worked on a very good project during my internship, and I just thought that he would be the right person to take an LOR from. And again, uh, between a lot of things that he had to do, he was very he was very humble to give me an LOR. So I submitted 2 LORs. You can submit 3, but that is definitely not a necessity. One tip in LOR that I would want to give is that do not write your own LORs. Like try to ask or request your the people whom you are asking for LORs, like if they can write it, if like they should only write it for you. Like I've seen a lot of people write LORs and then just get it signed. Please do not do that, because like these people who are reviewing your like applications have read like hundreds and thousands of applications, and they can like tell that which LOR is written by a student and which LOR is not genuine. Also in LORs I usually see that people request their professors or mentors to write all authentic stuff, like authentic nahi, sorry, all good stuff only. So this was very one, like in mostly all the college applications they will not ask you, or they will not tell the LOR, like the person, like what to exactly write in your LOR. But I started filling Chicago booth ka application as well. I did not submit it, but at least I started and also sent the request for LOR. So there they mentioned 2 questions, like write the good things as well and give a constructive feedback as well. So this is actually how it should be in all the LORs. Like you should not instruct them that how you should write the LORs. In fact, you can guide them if possible, that write good areas as well as areas of improvement that genuinely shows that that the person has worked with you, knows your good areas and your bad areas as well. So that is one very good tip that I would want to give all of you if you are requesting an LOR from anybody. Okay, this is one. We have covered essays, we have covered resumes, we have covered LORs. I think these are the major three components. Another thing was when I got everything done, I got it reviewed. Like I got my answers reviewed from a couple of people from Imperial, and I am so thankful to them. Like I totally get it. Like how busy they would be in their colleges and everything, but they still took out the time to review my answers, gave me really good suggestions, and like I'm really grateful for that. But if you guys want to do that, like just give them at least 1 to 2 weeks. You cannot expect them to give you a review just the next day or just like that same week. So that is why it is always advised to start your applications early. I think these were my tips, and then I just submitted it. And then I remember I was in Paris, and I got the mail from Imperial, congratulations. And I was mind blown. I was like, oh, what? Are you serious? And then I opened the mail there and then and saw that I have gotten into Imperial. I was like all crazy. I was like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? Because at that point I was like kind of 50-50 if I want to go, if I do not want to go. So if I wouldn't have gotten in it, what it would have been a much easier decision. I was thinking, let's say if I don't get in, then I will think that okay, it's God's sign that okay, you should not go there, you should only focus on your own business. But I'm very thankful that I got in. And I remember till the last date I was very skeptical, should I go, should I not go. I talked to so many people and everybody was like, oh, this is one of the best college in London, why are you not going? I mean, this is an opportunity that you cannot afford to miss. And another hammer on the nail was the scholarship. Again, I get an email from them that they're also offering me a good sum of scholarship. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I should go. But then I had to take a very hard decision of not going, because as I have mentioned before, that I wanted to build my own business, Cherry Media, that is basically a content powerhouse wherein we are doing everything around content, social media, like everything, storytelling, content, whatever you can think of. We are doing that. You can find us on Instagram with @VCherryMedia. But I think you have to take big, like if you ask me, did it hurt by saying no to such a prestigious college? It definitely did. Like it was always a dream to go to a business school, and I definitely know that there would be a lot of perks if I would have gone there. I would have networked so much and everything else, right? But by saying yes to that, I knew that I'm saying no to my business, because I can definitely not do two things together. Because like if you are going to London, if you're going to such a good college, you would not sit back in your hostel room or dorm room and work, right? You would definitely want to network with a lot of people, go out, socialize. And I knew that even if I'm going there, let's say I'm studying, but in the time when I'm free, instead of socializing, I would be working, which is definitely, then it just kills the purpose. But yeah, that is my experience. And I hope with my experience, like somebody out there who is aiming for Imperial College London or any college in general, because I I just applied for one college, by the way, that is Imperial College London. I was like, okay, I'll get into it, or I'll go, otherwise I'll not go also. But I started application for ek do more colleges, and the answers are more or less same. Like the basics remain the same. You should know what you want to do. You should be like crystal clear. Bhai, you should be crystal clear with what you want to do. Business schools do want that. Get your answers reviewed, be as genuine as possible. And number one myth is that you really need like a consultant to get into all these big colleges. No, you don't really need a consultant. In fact, most of the people that I know who have gotten in with a good scholarship have not gone through some consultancy. So please, you can save your money in that. Apart from that, if there are still any other questions that you would want me to answer regarding these colleges, college applications, etc., etc., please feel free to drop down in the comment section below. I'm very active in the comment section. I do reply to like all the comments as much as possible. So do drop down your queries in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.